So good afternoon students. In the last video we discussed about income and other criteria, in which we discussed about Punjab, Kerala and Bihar, and we discussed about infant mortality rate, literacy rate and net attendance ratio. Then we discussed about public facility. Now come to the activities which are given in the book. Activity 2, it shows the education achievement of rural population in Uttar Pradesh. So you can go through it and calculate the data. It is very easy exercise, so need not to waste time. Now the exercise activity 3, as we discussed about infant mortality rate and net attendance ratio. Infant mortality rate depends on the health status of the individual. If the population of a country is healthy, undoubtedly the infant mortality rate will be less. Now how to find out the person, if the person is malnourished or well nourished. Let us calculate it through, in this activity it's given through BMI, that is body mass index. It is a very scientific method, or it is calculated calculated by the nutrition scientist, and in which what we do, we simply take the weight of the person in kg and divide it by the height of the person in meter, or square of the height in meter, that is weight upon height in square meter is equal to BMI, that is body mass index. Clear? Dear students, usually if the BMI is less than 18.5, it is undernourished, and it should not be more than 23. If it is more than 23, it means you are obese, you are fatty. So under any circumstance it should not go beyond 25. Clear? Nowadays one more criterion is used. I think this is WTHR, waist to height ratio. Simply means your waist must be half of your height. For example, if a person's height is 72 inch, it means his waist should not be more than 36 inch. Okay, now let us come to next point, HDR, Human Development Report, where we calculate HDI, that is Human Development Index. So dear students, up to now we found that merely income is not sufficient while making comparisons between the countries. It is something more which is required to make comparison between the countries. Here the very good example is given in a book, Human Development Report. Here two more criterions are also used while making comparison between the people, that or the countries, that is health and education indicators. So there are three major indicators which are used while making comparison between the different countries. It is income, number 1, number 2 health, and number 3 you can point it to number 1, number 2 and number 3. So these are three basic parameters or indicators which are used for making comparisons. Here a very good comparison is shown over here. Some data regarding India and its neighboring countries. You see Sri Lanka, India, Myanmar, Pakistan, Nepal and Bangladesh are shown over here. Per capita gross income, that is GNI in US dollar, and life expectancy, literacy rate for 15 plus years population, and Human Development Index rank in the world. You see students over here, India has comparatively less per capita income. Sri Lanka is having more per capita income than India, and the rank of Sri Lanka is only 92. Latestly it is 73 and 135. But think of data which is given as per 2011. It is 92 and 136. It means Sri Lanka is far ahead than India, even though it's a small country. And the countries where per capita income is just half of India's per capita income, like Myanmar or Bangladesh, their human development index is not much beyond than India. It is 136 and 149 and 146 respectively. So the condition of the country like India is comparatively poor, because here we might be lacking in, or we are lacking in what? Health and education indicators. We lack in health education, the health indicator, because of which we have more infant mortality rate, and the education level or literacy level definitely is very poor in our country. So dear students, in nutshell you can say, apart from income, other criterions are also, or other indicators are equally important. So apart from these three indicators, you can think of some more indicators. If you find, you can discuss with me, or we can discuss in the class when the school opens. Last topic of the chapter is sustainability of the development. Sustainability of development. Dear students, keep in mind, whatever we have today with us is provided by nature, and we are not owner of these resources. Rather, we have inherited these resources from our we have not inherited these resources from our forefathers. Rather, we have borrowed these resources from our generations. So whatever level of development we have, it need to be maintained for the future generations. If we are not able to make it better, we have no right to make it worse. So you can quote example of anything over here. For example, in your book, example of groundwater is shown over here. Usually groundwater which was found at the depth of 4 meters, now it has reached beyond hundreds of meters. Who is responsible for it? The overexploitation of the resources is responsible for it. Why are we overexploiting? There are so many reasons. Lifestyle is changing, per capita consumption is increasing, population is increasing. So we have to discuss about all these things with your family members, with your friends, and you can find out the solutions as well. And these solutions definitely will help you come out of the situation. So consequences of environmental degradation: don't respect national or state boundaries. You know it very well. Whatever bad we do to our natural environment, undoubtedly its impact will be faced by all the people living in different states or different countries of the world. So this you can say environmental degradation or water degradation factors are not linked to the single nation, rather the whole world will be affected by it, because our future is linked together. Sustainability of development is comparatively a new area of knowledge in which all the scientists, all the economists, philosophers, teachers, statesmen, political leaders, they all are working together. In general, the question of development or progress is perennial, is continuous. At all times, as a member of society and as an individual, we need to ask where we want to go, what we want to become, and what our goals are. So the debate on the development continues. It is never ending. So we have to decide on our own what kind of development we need, whether we want to you can say disturb the life of the coming generations, or we want to pollute the environment, or we want to live in a better environment. Recently, or in the contemporary time, you know what is being faced by the whole world. And now during this lockdown period, we are able to see what bad, what wrong we have done to the nature. So we need to think on all these issues. Okay, anyway, with this the chapter is over, and assignments will be uploaded. And dear students, keep in mind that you have to complete the task in time, so that we can go in the go for the next chapter as well. Thank you.